Good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning into our ReFutures virtual platform. My name is Jess Levy, and I'm one of the co-coordinators for the Coral Restoration Consortium. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the CRC, what it is, what we do, and of course, how you get involved as well. The beginnings or the groundwork for the CRC originated out of a coral restoration workshop held in Fort Lauderdale, Florida back in 2016. And although this workshop was Caribbean and was practitioner focused, it became very obvious that restoration practitioners in general wanted an avenue for greater communication and coordination within the whole field of coral restoration. And this idea, or really this need for greater and constant communication, is what evolved into the Coral Restoration Consortium. The mission of the CRC is to foster collaborations and technology transfer among coral restoration scientists, practitioners, and managers, and to facilitate this community of practice that will advance the methods to restore coral reefs and to keep pace with rapidly changing environmental conditions. In order to best do this, the consortium is guided by its leadership team, which is made up of an executive team, steering committee, and the chairs of our working groups. The consortium currently has 7 working groups, each designed to tackle a specific subject matter within the field of restoration that would help to increase the scale and success of restoration efforts around the world. These working groups include propagation and restoration methods for both field and land-based programs, engineering and innovations to work through new, novel, and emergent methodologies that we're seeing, scaling up and incorporating the use of larval propagation into restoration efforts, monitoring restoration success, of course, including restoration genetics and management as well. And each working group has a core team of subject matter expertise who work towards tackling some of these major issues in restoration, all of which have a video on this virtual platform as well, so please don't forget to check out their highlights throughout the ReFutures event. In addition to its working groups, the CRC leadership team is also supported by our regional and our ad hoc groups. Regional groups are set up to help address specific challenges to a given area. They can be used to translate and disseminate information in native languages, as well as be an avenue to coordinate a lot of people within a given time zone as well. And secondly, we have ad hoc groups, which are occasionally created and they're used to answer one-time questions, or they're tasked with a suite of questions given a specific subject. And that's what we use currently our work ad hoc group for cryopreservation right now to do. The CRC bridges disciplines and industries to take a very interdisciplinary approach to coral restoration efforts. By bringing together as many people as we can as this collective, we can work together to scale up coral restoration efforts globally. The organization involved in the consortium represent a diverse array of participants from academic institutions, NGOs, federal and state management agencies, even to novel and unique funding agencies as well. Just getting a little bit behind the scenes of our governance. When the CRC was founded in 2017, we developed an initial set of priorities and working groups and a governance document to help us guide us in our efforts. That governance document actually sets 4-year terms for a rotation of steering committee members and allows us to review our priorities every 2 years. This gives us the opportunity to adjust and revise our priorities as the field of restoration moves forward, and helps us to guide and move our working groups forward as well. So in March of 2020, the CRC leadership team met in Costa Rica and set forth the priorities of the CRC for the next 5 years. The outcome of that meeting were these 6 priorities for the advancement of coral restoration efforts. These included increased restoration efficiencies. This included scaling up larval propagation and its incorporation into coral restoration efforts, developing guidance that promotes a holistic approach to coral reef at an ecosystem level restoration, developing guidance to ensure that we're doing restorations in the context of population genetics management, developing and promoting the use of standard terms and metrics for restoration efforts. This is to allow us to be able to talk apples to apples as restoration expands around the world. And then of course, to develop new and synthesize existing resources and guides to support our restoration practitioners that are working in diverse geographic locations. So there's a huge knowledge sharing component as well. And we're very excited to share that these priorities, the details around them were actually published in Restoration Oncology very recently. So I encourage everyone to check out this publication when you have the opportunity to. So not only does CRC provide a space for open and ongoing conversations to enhance the coral restoration community, but its working groups also actively produce resources as well for the broad community. And a huge component of the CRC is the development of these resources to be able to share with audiences around the world. Resources have included things from traditional peer-reviewed publications to best practice guides to topical webinar series to a newsletter. So we try to take advantage of the numerous avenues that we have at our disposal to spread the activities of the CRC and to share the latest information across the restoration field. So just some exciting upcoming opportunities to share with you all. This week, the CRC launched their new website. Please go and check that out. We expect to have some additional regional groups in the next coming year. We're going to have greater support for learning exchanges as well. We are also currently accepting applications for our leadership team vacancies. We have 4 positions available at our steering committee and currently 3 open chair positions in our working groups. And then of course, one final nod to ReFuture Symposium. Although postponed this year, we are excited to host ReFutures in person in the fall of 2022. We've set 5 conference themes, all of which mimic and support the 6 priorities of the CRC, and many of which you would have many of you listening today probably would have already submitted abstracts for as well. All right, so thank you for taking this time to tune in, and I hope you enjoy your experience with this virtual ReFutures platform.